Bradshaw out, he's loose. He's ready to go. You're right, Joe. Anyone who's guessing his name's Joe. And he's a friendly old boy. Yeah. Beast, yeah. Beast. They all think they're gonna get fed. You thought wrong, dude. So that bailing pretty late last night, not too late. George was out even later than me. Got back about 10:30 at night. So got to pick a few sunflowers this morning instead of in the evening. Just got off the bike fetching sunflowers. You have to go through the sheep field. So I can smell sheep. Nice, it's all over my trousers. Got to live with that for the rest of the day now, look. Sheep. Right, just going to start on these posts since it's a wet day, no farming today. This is what we're going to be doing. So I've got to take each post out that's going to be an upright, put a tenon on the end, and mark these tenons out for the braces. Do them with the mortiser, tenon the ends, and then put it to one side. Can't come off to length yet because these stones aren't in place, so I don't know the finish height of them. You've just got to organise actually what beam is for what. So I've got a list on the back here of what sizes I need for uprights. I'll just go through them and label them all up when I find my tape measure. Yeah, I've always hated that about tape measures, and I just did it there, where you go to hook it on the end, and if you don't watch what you're doing and just like slide it over a piece of timber, and it hooks on a bit of metal or something like exactly like it just did, like that, and you get an inaccurate measurement. Given each post length or position a number, always put a number with a circle around, it's easy to identify. Start with the longest ones. So number 2 is my longest one at 2.3. I'll get that out about 2.7. That can be number 1. And working my way down the list. So I just got to fetch my benches and we can start getting these posts out one by one, cutting the tenons and doing these mortises. So the first thing to do is I've got to cut an end square. That's going to be fairly simple. I've got the HK. I can just set it to 90 degrees, cut this one and keep turning it round. It'll cut 80mm into the timber. There, you know, it's 100mm to centre, so there'll be a 40mm square nib in the middle. I'll just hand saw off, so it's no problem at all. What is an issue is the repeatability of the tenons. So I want to make a little jig that allows me to slide it onto my squared off end of the post, and then again using them aluminium rails that I made for the other jig, align them down the sides of the jig, and I can just put my HK on and do my tenon cut perfectly the same width and perfectly parallel, perfectly square on the end of the post, which will give me a lovely tenon 80mm deep. And then I can just knock that off and just chisel the remaining piece off from the edge to the shoulders that I've cut. Again, I can cut the shoulders with the HK if I want to, using that nice FSK rail. So I'm just going to have to spend half an hour making that jig. Got a handy little sheet of plywood here. I'm just going to make a box up with like a 205mm internal centre. Here's that drill bit again. quite a good tool actually. So I'm just setting out some lines to work out from the centre to give me the right width tenon when I place the box on the piece of wood. Hey, a really clever person could make this on an adjustable slide out of aluminium. You'd have an infinitely usable jig. Or just keep it in your small home workshop. You could use your HK85 saw for doing tenons on joinery. Because I've made this box with a bit of a tolerance, so I can slide it over the beam of 5mm, and all the rails and everything is in the centre, so all the tenon is set up to be in the centre of the box. And I've got some 2.5mm shims, which will pack one edge of the beam off 2.5mm, so it'll still give me the clearance, a couple of mil, to get this on and off of the end of the beam, but it'll also be in the centre. I'm in two minds whether to make a similar jig for doing the shoulder cuts of the tenon on the posts. I think it would just guarantee that they were perfectly parallel to each other and would minimise the amount of setting out I'm going to have to do. I had to think about it while I had a cup of tea, and I decided it was a good idea to make a jig. I'm going to go and test them jigs out on the post, because I'm dying to see how well they perform, but you're going to have to wait till tomorrow's video. We've had some hay cut by the Hursty gang. Robin's been a legend and come and done this just when we wanted it. This is a red clover. So everyone fingers crossed for 5 days of dry weather. We need it. Sit. Oh, dog.